Maya Hernandez is now charged with murder, involuntary manslaughter, and 2 counts of child cruelty. And here to break down the story with me is civil rights trial attorney Jim DeSimone. Jim, thank you so much for coming on today.
My pleasure.
So let's just jump right in. The child's mother, Maya Hernandez, has officially been charged with murder. What are your thoughts? And do you think the charges fit the crime?
Well, under California law, if someone has a conscious disregard for human life, it can be the equivalent of malice aforethought for second-degree murder. So while this in no way seems to be premeditated, you have to believe the mom. She's not intentionally trying to kill or injure her children. The admissions she made when interviewed did allow the judge in this case to say, yes, I'm going to hold her over for murder with $1 million bond because she spoke to the police and made some admissions in those interviews.
How many years is she facing if she's found guilty?
Well, if it's murder, it would be 15 years to life. So it could be a life sentence. I mean, the more likely sentence here would be involuntary manslaughter, which carries with it something along the lines of 5 or 6 years. You could add in perhaps the child cruelty charges, which she's also being charged with here for her neglect of her children. Whether or not those terms would run consecutively or simultaneously depends on another number of factors. But the fact that you have the greater charges here in murder does expose her to the possibility of, a lifetime of jail for this. And of course, she does have a second child that's living, then would be without a mom.
Now, at first, she was charged with manslaughter, and then the charges got upgraded to murder. Why does this happen? Why do you think this happened? And does this happen often?
Well, the attorneys who practice criminal defense, they say, you never want to sit down and speak to the police. It's never going to help you. Some of my colleagues go on social media and say, shut the F up. And that's, good advice. I mean, while it's hard to have empathy with Miss Hernandez, I mean, she's going for a lip filler injection at a medical spa and leaves her kid in the car. The extenuating circumstances that she explained was, hey, I left it with the air conditioning on. But she was there for 2 hours. So word to the warning for people who ever think that leaving your kid in a car with the air conditioner running is safe. Those cars shut off after a certain period of time. This model did, and that's why you have 1 child dead. But she also made critical admissions when she was questioned. And she nodded her head yes, that she knew her actions were irresponsible. She basically said she had heard ads about the dangers of leaving children unattended in a car. She knew what could happen, that the worst case scenario, that a child could die if they were left alone in a car. And the appointment took 15 minutes. She was in there for 2 hours. Why can't she come back and check on her kids in the car? Also, the nurse at the spa said she was welcome to bring her kids in. She could have been with her kids in the waiting room for all that time, go in for 15 minutes. You have a 1 and a 2-year-old. Yeah, pretty young to be left alone. But I mean, just to be left alone in a car seems reprehensible at that age. There's other dangers that could happen, which we could speak about. But really, you have a situation here where her speaking to the police showed that she did have the knowledge that this could be harmful to her children, which allowed the judge to increase the charges to murder in a preliminary hearing after the testimony of police who questioned her.